thing goes grrrr, pop, pop, tap, tap, tap. Skitty kid pop, pop. And the poop, poop, boom. Skia. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Yo. God. The thing goes grrrr.
Welcome to Fantasy and Chill Week 13. I'm your quarterback, Ryan Keller, joined by Ethan Hargrave.
What up?
Britt Crawford.
Sup.
And producer Matt.
What up? A little late, but we made it.
We made it. A
We
little
made
late.
it, boy.
About 45 minutes late, but we're on.
Technical difficulties, traffic.
I did.
Technology's a bitch.
Yeah.
All right, let's start off with our fantasy studs this week. And the two studs, both quarter. There it is. I forgot again. Damn it. Our two quarterbacks, Ethan and Britt, if y'all remember correctly, we had a bet over these two quarterbacks last week.
Oh, we did?
And I believe me and Matt took the first stud, who was Phillip Rivers, 27 for 33, 434 yards with 3 touchdowns. And I believe Matt called it a few weeks ago that Phillip Rivers was a guy to target going forward, and he's been a beast the past 2 or 3 weeks. So is he a guy you're starting the rest of the way?
His schedule don't look too bad. Not too nasty. I think they get a good old Cleveland coming up.
They have Cleveland this week, yep.
Cleveland does have a sleeper decent defense, but I mean he's trending upwards, getting hot just in time for the fantasy playoffs and what could possibly be an AFC West push. So I have to imagine that if you were going to get the best of Phillip Rivers at any point, now's the time.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. Starting him every week.
Yeah, you cashed in on our bet for us, so I'm going to keep starting him. As I said, what was it, 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
You did call it.
I think it's kind of turning into not as much as the Seattle situation, because obviously Seattle's run game is terrible, but it doesn't look like Melvin Gordon is running the way he was earlier in the season. It's kind of revolving around their passing game more. And with their
he's falling off big time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the past 2 weeks, Keenan Allen's been a beast, so, he's kind of coming around too.
Oh.
Well, I think we might see him later on in the show.
Uh-oh.
Maybe.
Spoiler alert.
You starting Juju over him if he's healthy?
Juju on that beat?
I had to stop it early because I'm not starting Juju over.
I had to get it in early, sorry.
Oh, he wasn't going to be mentioned throughout the show, so
I don't think anyone was going to bring him up later.
Good to get that Juju in.
Obligatory Juju drop.
All right, so our second fantasy stud quarterback was the guy I mentioned was a good target going forward, and that was Ben Roethlisberger. This is 2 weeks in a row for him, I think. 33 of 45, 351 yards, 4 touchdowns. Also added 3 rushes for 25 yards. And this is back to kind of the classic Steelers offense we've seen the last 2 years, where it's just Big Ben and Antonio Brown going back and forth.
It almost seems like they were sandbagging it all year. I mean, granted, who'd they have this past week? It's slipping my mind.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Okay, so they had the Titans, which aren't exactly a stalwart defense, and then they had, Packers. Not exactly a stalwart defense, but at least Big Ben's looking like Big Ben, right? So you gotta feel good about that. I think maybe they're just starting to get serious. I still don't feel 100% confident about them, but looking good.
Can my boy Le'Veon Bell get a fucking touchdown? I think he had 185 total yards this week. He's just not getting touchdowns.
I noticed that's like a modus operandi for a lot of the Steelers. I've seen Antonio Brown get like 250-yard games and just not score a touchdown somehow. So
Hey, your boy Martavius Bryant getting in the end zone.
Hey, holla!
Yeah, that's all because Juju didn't play.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Big Ben's got 2 divisional games coming up at Cincinnati and Baltimore. He always does this every year where he puts up these monster games in a row and then he just fizzles out right when you're going to count on him.
But
he's playing away next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Big Ben's kind of known for his home and away splits, kind of like Drew Brees a little bit. But
the Steelers in general.
Yeah, and really when they play at home, it's kind of nasty out there. So I imagine, like last season they had that Bill had that awesome game in the snow, or I think he had like 2 or 3 touchdowns, 200 something yards. They're gonna lean on the running game a little bit more, so you got to think about that. But other than that, it looks like they're just getting ready for the playoffs.
One thing they keep doing is they'll get within the 5-yard line and they throw the ball every time. Like they do not want to give Bell a carry within 5 yards. Makes no damn sense, but they do it.
Week 15, they play the Pats. That'll be a good game.
It's a battle for the AFC number 1 seed right there.
Yep.
Who you taking?
Might be a playoff matchup as well.
It's at New England. I'm taking New England.
You don't ever go against against
Oh, no, I'm
Brady.
sorry. Pittsburgh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a statement game.
I'm still going with Tom Brady.
Patriots. Yeah, and their defense is actually, surprise, surprise, is coming around. So that could be a really nice game to watch.
All right, let's go to our fantasy stud running back. And our first guy single-handedly powered Matt into the playoffs. And that is Alvin Kamara. 5 rushes for 80.
On 5 carries. 5 carries.
I was going to save that for Julio, but.
No, I had to do it for my boy.
That was a premature nut button. Sorry.
What? Premature?
You forerunner dry hump that one.
The only thing premature about that was my premature ejaculation when I saw him get me back into the game.
All right, let me go over his stats real quick. 5 rushes for 87 yards and a touchdown, which included a 72-yard touchdown run, and then 6 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. So that's 188 total yards and 2 touchdowns.
On 11 touches.
One word.
Touches.
Disgusting.
And this was the first week in a while that only one of them went off because Ingram didn't do anything, did he? He had
No, yeah, he didn't do shit.
Yeah. He had a touchdown called back.
But they were kind of playing from behind the whole time, so they were throwing the ball more.
Still, though, 11 touches, 180 yards. That's ridiculous. I feel like Alvin Kamara is like the second half Kareem Hunt this year.
Yeah, except for if you look, really his floor is only like 9 points or something like that. In the games that he's been involved in, and since the Peterson trade.
Yeah, without Peterson, yeah.
Well, since the Peterson trade, it's been even better. I have to look at the numbers exactly if you don't have them in front of you. But I remember looking at me like, oh, geez, this guy is just he could hard carry your team.
I think he's been the top running back since week 6, I believe.
Yeah,
dude, you know what's crazy? He doesn't even have 20 touches in a game, and he's putting up these numbers.
Yeah, he's averaging like 7.6.
That's ridiculous. Just electric.
Okay. So his first 2 games, he had 4 points and then 5 points. Okay. Then week 3, 10. Week 4, 15.6.
Oh, yeah. You know when I dropped him? After week 2, after he put up 5.4.
You gave up on him. Then they had the bye week, right? And I think that's when they
running back, though.
That's okay. All right. But that's when after the bye week, they traded Peterson, right? Yeah. So he comes back 8 points. Okay. They're like, all right, things are okay. Green Bay, 10 points. Chicago, 13.6. Then they go Tampa Bay, 25. Buffalo, 20. Washington, 20. And then against the Rams, 34 points. This guy's a monster. He can it looks like he can hard carry your team. I don't know.
Go ahead and add on another 5 points in PPR.
hard carrying your team to the playoffs and possibly to the championship. If you had any kind of decent roster and running backs and you just grabbed this guy off the waivers, which a lot of people did. I did. Thank God. It's the only thing that's keeping my season afloat at the moment.
Free Zeke, man.
Free Zeke.
So for those interested, me and Matt are matching up in the first round of our playoffs, so we'll have a hard-fought 2 weeks there.
I don't think anyone asked.
Sadly, Britt is on the outside looking in. So,
yeah,
better luck next year, Britt.
No one cares about our Bush League where we don't even have a
You cared about 24 hours ago.
Yeah, Lamar Miller was my only hope, and he let me down.
Lamar,
not a good hope.
Hey man,
just like the Texans let the fans down every year.
He went above and beyond and got you 11 points, man.
Deshaun Watson, though, I'm building my team around him next year.
Dude,
Oh, yeah?
You do that. First round.
He can draft secrets already.
All right. Number 2 running back this week was Jamal Williams. 21 carries for 66 yards and a touchdown. Also added 4 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. And with Aaron Jones still going to be out a couple of weeks, Ty Montgomery banged up, and the Packers offense did look pretty good this week. I mean, is he a guy that you would probably start during the playoffs for you?
Got a juicy matchup against Tampa Bay. Juicy. So coming up this week, which I think they might hold Monty out one more week. Why not? I mean, no sense in throwing him out there. There's no rush. So, your hope is, this guy can do some service for you going into the first week, maybe in a flex spot or something like that. His yards per carry aren't exactly anything to drool over, but what he did in the passing game was actually pretty nice. So
25 total touches. You got to love that.
The load, he got a big load. So, I mean, you'd like to see the yards
Rise to the top. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Got that
But
big load.
if you'd like to see the yards per carry go up a little bit, but kudos, did what he did.
It was kind of surprising against Pittsburgh because they've usually
Pittsburgh always does this shit, though. They play down to their opponent. Like, that's why I'm a little skeptical.
yeah. Well, it was at home too, though.
That's true. But
I was not expecting Green Bay to be in this game at all. We have a flat earther in chat too that says I don't know anything about football, but we'll just ignore that.
flat earther.
You're an idiot.
We'll get the flat earthers in the off
chat is-
season, maybe.
Yeah, if you want to tell, what's this guy's name?
It's Austin.
Oh, Austin. Listen here, Austin.
Hey, what chat are you
How about
in?
flat Earth? You come to the off season.
It's Periscope.
Okay.
Hey, Austin, better get to work early.
That's
Different
Better
Austin.
get to work on time.
Just work on time.
Dang.
Damn, roasting Austin. He's not even here. Other
Yeah,
Austin.
going back to Jamal Williams, do y'all think he's going to lose a little bit of touches when Monty comes back?
He'll lose a few, but Jamal Williams, I think, is clearly the better runner.
Is Aaron Jones in jail, or what's going on with him?
No, he had I thought a major injury, but he did have a little altercation. I think they're going to settle it in the off season though.
So
It
he's
could be
looking
Zeke part 2.
to return to practice on Wednesday, Aaron Jones is.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe a little two-headed monster action.
That's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
I just don't see them rushing anybody back right now.
Yeah, that's true.
What about Aaron Rodgers?
Unless they win these next 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
him
let's
throwing
rush
those
our franchise
50
quarterback
yard
and just
passes
get back to
look pretty
collarbone
good.
surgery. Yeah, no.
Case Keenum's the best quarterback in that division now.
Case
I agree.
Interesting.
Go Cougs.
All right, let's go to our number 1 wide receiver, and this is what I was trying to save that old
The nut button.
for. Julio Jones, vintage Julio. Kind of been waiting all season for this. 12 catches, 253 yards, and 2 touchdowns. This might have been the nail in Britt's coffin this year.
I mean, yeah, I guess. He always does this. It's bound to happen eventually. Just happened to be me.
They were playing against the Bucs. The Bucs are they're
Awful.
a dumpster fire. They really are. But Julio Jones did look spry out there, if I do say so myself. I'm hoping that he just blew his load right there, really, because I have to face this. I faced it in my main league. I faced Julio Jones week 12, and I get him week 13 and week 14. So I'm hoping that he's done. He's ready to go to sleep. All right.
Might just be eating up, Ethan.
Yeah,
I mean-
Falcons might get on a roll here.
Maybe Mohamed Sanu threw one of those passes too. That was a dirty ass pass.
Yeah.
That was a bomb.
Like that's impressive. I mean, who they got as their backup quarterback right now? Matt Schaub. Get the fuck out of here with that. Just throw Mohamed Sanu in there. Matt Schaub's having a hard time.
Might not be a bad play. Are you worried? If you're a Julio Jones owner, are you worried about next week against Minnesota? You got Xavier Rhodes probably going to be on him.
He's matchup proof.
You think so? Matchup proof all season, huh?
I saw this stat too about Mohamed Sanu passing. In his NFL career, he is 6 for 6, 228 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his NFL career.
He's a better quarterback than he is a wide receiver.
He has a 158 career passer rating.
Don't you just drop the mic right there and just walk off? Just forget it.
In 2012 with the Bengals, he threw a 73-yard touchdown, and then the Falcons this past weekend was a 51-yard touchdown.
And it wasn't just like a dying duck either. That was a third.
Oh yeah, Cody Williams tried.
He took a hit on that one too. He stood in there. Good job.
All right, let's go to our next wide receiver. Already talked about him a little bit. What?
You're joking about Matt Schaub, but I've seen Matt Schaub play enough where I think Mohamed Sanu might actually be a better option.
No, I'm being serious. Yeah, I mean we'll have serious, but yeah, I mean if you want to pick sixes, let's go with Schaub.
He's a better option than Tom Savage.
And here comes the Texans.
Oh my bad. Too early.
Too soon, man.
I don't have one Texan on this whole sheet. I was trying to avoid them.
Probably a good reason. Speaking of dumpster fires.
All right, next wide receiver. Talked about him a little bit with Big Ben, but Antonio Brown, 10 catches for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he made a few more just unbelievable catches this week. And he has officially hit his stride. I think he's got to be up to number 1 receiver now, right? He had to have jumped Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's number 1.
Yeah, he's really putting it together. So,
who would you rather have the rest of the way, Brown or Jones?
Brown.
Oh, Brown, 100%.
100%.
His floor is just so consistent.
Hands down, and they're just – that offense just seems to be clicking a lot more. They have a
Julio or Hopkins.
Julio. I'll take Matt Ryan every day throwing.
Better quarterback.
I mean, how many yards did Hopkins have yesterday?
How many yards did Julio have?
I'm just saying, there's Tom Savage throwing to him. He still put up 150 yards about.
What do you mean? Mohamed Sanu was throwing to Julio Jones.
He's better than Tom Savage.
Blaine Simmons in chat says, how do we only have 10 subs? We deserve way more. What a nice guy.
There you go.
I also agree.
Appreciate
Hit that
it.
sub button.
Hit that sub button.
Appreciate it.
Spam it out. Hit up every message board you got.
Yeah, throw that shit everywhere.
Take a Bud Light break real quick.
Look at this guy.
It's time for our
just
sponsor. Well,
I swear that's my flannel shirt. You stole it from me at some point. I swear.
I'm going to give him 10 seconds before I announce this next wide receiver stud.
But why?
Well, I can just say it.
Trying to rub it in his face or what?
No, I was just seeing so he can know who we were talking about. But all right, next guy. I had to put 2 more receivers on the list because, I mean, if you just look down the receivers this week, there was about 8 guys that just went off this week, and they could have been on the stud list. So I kept it to 4. Next guy is Robbie Anderson, 6 catches for 146 yards and 2 TDs.
Yeah.
He looked good out there.
Good. Robbie, yeah, he's looking like one of the pickups, waiver pickups of the year. Really,
He might be the pickup of the year. Well, besides Kamara,
wide receiver wise, he's got to be, in the conversation for sure. Kamara, I think, is definitely the waiver pickup of the year, straight up. I mean, especially since Deshaun Watson's.
at least Kamara was drafted in some leagues. I don't think anybody drafted Robbie Anderson.
I think a lot of yeah, that's true. I mean, nobody saw this coming.
12-team leagues. I think if you picked him up, I picked him up in a 12-team league, but it was
Off the draft.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like round 14 or something. It was super late.
Pretty impressive.
It's like
I dropped him. So.
No, who did they have? Anua. He was pretty good last year. He got hurt though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Quincy Anua or whatever.
He was okay, but he's
I'm just saying, like
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, no,
He
Robbie
did have a
Anderson's
good year
pretty
last year,
fucking
though.
good. Yeah.
I want to say that
Every year-
Onwa was like top 20 or something last year, right? Like something crazy.
Yeah, something weird like that.
Like
Here, let
every
me-
year
I'll
in
check, I'll
fantasy,
check.
There's a way to
half
find
the
this out.
fun is just you always know that there's gonna be some new star that pops up, and half the fun is finding a new star and seeing who emerges from, who
Yeah.
rises to the top.
Every single year, there's that waiver warrior that'll win you the league, man.
Yeah, like that's and a lot of people, that's how I feel. I feel you can manage your team well is by finding that star and grabbing him early. But
Yeah.
Hey, well, Quincy Anua was the 43rd ranked wide receiver, but he had a few 16. He had a stretch where he put up 16, 16, and 18.
I mean, he was okay. Okay,
but Robbie Anderson last year didn't do shit.
He didn't. He didn't.
He's up to the number 9 receiver right now.
That's ridiculous.
You can't compare the two. And what I'm saying is this guy's like solidifying himself as a fantasy star.
He's had 6 touchdowns in the last 5 games, 5 straight games with a touchdown.
That's pretty good.
But he started off the year just like last year. You know what I'm saying? Like this kind of explosions came out of nowhere.
Well, the Jets also were fucking terrible, and they've kind of hit their stride a little bit.
And Josh McCown's actually let's give credit where credit's due, and I didn't expect this either, but he's actually done a pretty.
Let's
job.
save the Josh McCown takes for a little bit down the road. I got him later.
Well, the Jets have always been a running team too. Like Bilal Powell actually had a pretty decent year last year.
Sure.
Matt Forte had a good year last year.
Yeah, true. I mean, just both of them.
Next. All right, last wide receiver stud I had to throw in here for another one for Matt Keenan Allen. On Thanksgiving, 11 catches for 172 yards and a touchdown. Matt, will you ever bench him again?
Considering he's my best wide receiver now, I don't think I can.
You got Ty.
Oh.
Ty.
There's a reason
Andrew
I
Luck's
traded
coming
for.
Back, man.
There's a reason I traded for 2 wide receivers. That's so I could never play Ty again because I don't want to keep getting burned by him. I'd rather get burned by someone else.
I think I'd rather play him over Des Bryant.
I mean,
well, let's focus on the man that deserves the attention.
Ethan agrees
here,
with me.
The man that deserves the attention is my boy Keenan. All right.
I'm just saying, I'm taking Ty.
Is this what is it? Is this 3 weeks? Is this 3 big weeks in a row for him?
I think it's 2. I mean, he's always had a solid floor of around 7 points.
Around 4.
No.
We only had 1 touchdown before the past week. Or 2 weeks.
What's he up to now for receiver wise?
Number 6. That's what's ridiculous. 29 and 26 the past 2 weeks. This year.
But apparently, the past 2 weeks he's had this year is the best 2 weeks any receiver's ever had this year, like consecutively.
Wait, Antonio Brown?
Didn't Antonio Brown put up 30 last week?
Antonio Brown put up 35 and 32.
This stat came out before.
Oh, okay. You're wrong.
What?
You're wrong, man.
What do you mean the stat came out before? They did it both in the past 2 weeks.
Wrong.
It's because Keenan Allen played that Thanksgiving game, so they got those stats out there.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, see, he played before Antonio Brown did.
You got me, Matt. I'm sorry. I apologize for being wrong.
Wrong. But yes.
All right, that wraps up our
back
studs.
to the question. I'm
Unless
starting
Matt still got some more.
I was just saying I'm starting him. Yes.
Oh, every week, 100%.
Bold decision.
Bold decision.
Bold moves.
All right, so our next segment we're going to do. So everybody knows the game "Fuck, Marry, Kill," right?
I'd fuck Ethan, marry Ryan, kill Britt.
Oh, what?
Are we talking about players?
I'm the only one rooting for your fantasy team, and you're gonna be a bitch. Whatever. I'm transferring.
So if anybody's
I'm getting on Turpin's bandwagon.
If anybody's not familiar how that game works, if I were to say "Fuck, Marry, Kill" and maybe say Daenerys Targaryen, Marjorie Tyrell, and Melisandre, what would be your answers there?
Mila Kunis.
That wasn't a choice.
I don't think Ethan understands "Fuck, Marry, Kill."
Just everything.
Someone give me an answer there.
I forgot the people you named already.
Yeah, Melisandre, Marjorie, and Daenerys. Well, Daenerys is Mary, obviously.
Yeah, you marry her for sure. And then the little crumpet Marjorie.
Wait, did you mean Missandei or Melisandre?
You can pick either one.
Wait, which one's that?
That's a big difference.
That is a big difference.
Wait, Melisandre is the red lady, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I
one
personally
of them turns into a 1,000-year-old at night.
Well, I personally like Missandei better, but I thought
Yeah, I think we all do.
Okay,
I think we all do as well.
Hey, Daenerys, Marjorie, and Missandei.
Okay, Daenerys, you
Marjorie's
married.
dying.
I'm probably doing Missandei killing Marjorie.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. Yeah.
You killed the crumpet.
All right, that's how you play the game.
That's how you play the game, anyways. But we're not fucking marrying and killing these players. We're start, sit, and drop.
Drop.
So everybody get the game. Everybody understand the rules here.
Start, sit,
Is
drop.
this
Yeah,
show
yeah.
we playing just for this week?
I need to write this down.
It'll be I put down this week's matchups. Yeah, we'll do for this week, but in your back of your head, you're going to be also thinking about going forward. So kind of consider both. And obviously, these players, like, not all of them you're going to want it. Like, for the wide receivers and running backs, you're not going to drop any of them. But if we played, like, start, flex, bench, that wouldn't make any sense because start and flex are the same thing. So,
All right, first three, let's go.
Let go.
damn it, Brett. For the quarterbacks, start, sit, drop. You got Case Keenum at the Falcons, Marcus Mariota versus the Texans, Dak Prescott versus the Redskins.
So
Start, sit,
Keenum,
drop.
Mariota,
And Prescott.
Ooh.
I think
That's a tough one. I know I'm dropping Dak for sure.
Yeah, I'm starting Keenum, sitting Mariota.
Mariota's playing the Texans.
That's why it's a
Yeah.
toss-up for me between Mariota
Yeah,
and
last
Keenum.
time that Mariota played against the Texans, it was at the Texans, and he pulled his little hammy. Okay, a little hammy.
But
problem.
he was on his way to a big week.
Before that, he had 16 points. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. I think he had like a 40-yard run on one of them. I mean, the Texans can't hang with Mariota. I mean, I almost feel like you got to start Mariota.
Look, let me read you a little stat. Past 4 games, Keenum, he's thrown 288, 304, 280, and 282 yards passing in their last 4 games. They're playing at the Dome. They're playing at Atlanta down south. He's got Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen and Rudolph. Enough said. Starting
Okay,
Keenum.
but here, I think this is the week that I think the Falcons are about to go on a run where they don't lose for a while. And I think the Falcons are winning this game, is what I'm saying. And I think that they kind of get to Case a little bit.
Nah, defense travels.
All those points that you
Minnesota's D.
all those points that you made were completely valid, but I can counter them with one word. Texans D. Actually, that's 2 words.
Damn it, Ethan.
I mean, they did make Flacco look pretty terrible last night.
Hold on. Mariota just played
That's
at
not hard, though.
Indianapolis and threw 184 yards, 2 picks. At Indianapolis, who was what? I don't even know. I can't even pull up this.
For whatever reason, Mariota has the Texans number.
So,
Look.
Britt, after all that, why are you so quick to just drop your boy Dak like that?
Because without Zeke, Dak is trash. I'd rather have Tony Romo. I'm just joking. I didn't mean that. It's just he cost me this year.
Going into the playoffs, you want consistency. You don't want to be risking stuff.
Exactly.
Like our playoffs start next week. So if I had to pick for next week who I'm starting in the playoffs, I'm probably starting Keenum, sitting Mariota, dropping Dak.
So we're all agreeing dropping Dak. The argument here is Keenum or Mariota for start sit.
Dak's floor is just too low. Like you can't afford a negative or even a 3-point game in the playoffs.
I would
You're
say
gonna
that
lose.
I would say that if you had to choose one for the entirety of the playoffs, I'd put Keenum.
But just for
100%.
this week.
But for this week, I got a feeling about Mariota.
Put it on the board.
Call me crazy.
Falcons are winning this game is what I'm saying. Falcons are beating the Vikings.
Okay, Keller has Falcons.
That's a guarantee.
Could be a shootout though.
Could be badass.
Here's what's going to happen. Falcons are going to beat them by a couple touchdowns, and we're going to hear Bridgewater rumors all week.
Really?
Oh, that's a hot take right there.
That is a hot take
You can shove it right up your hot ass.
for Hotlanta.
Let go. Next one.
All right, next one. Start, sit, drop running backs. We have Samaje Perine at the Cowboys. Adrian Peterson at home versus the Rams. Jamal Williams at home versus the Bucs.
So Perine, Peterson, and
Jamal.
Okay.
Jamal Williams. Jesus.
If Jamal Williams is the sole running back, healthy running back for Green Bay, you got to start him. You sit Perine and then
Peterson.
Peterson. I'd drop. I mean, out of the 2, if I got to pick one, drop.
When is Fat Rob coming back? Or no,
Fat
he's
Rob
on the
ain't coming
IR.
back. He's on IR.
I was thinking he's coming back.
Ask me when Chris Thompson's coming back.
Never.
When's Chris Thompson coming back?
Chris Thompson's on IR.
Where do the Texans go from here?
I am gonna disagree with you here, Ethan. I think you got to start Perine. he's getting the majority of the work. You know, we can argue about Christian McCaffrey and P. Ryan again if you want to, Britt. But if they're going to be down, P. Ryan's getting
McCaffrey had a good week.
No, he did. But if I'm just back to the Peterson and P. Ryan argument. If Redskins are down, they're going to be throwing the ball to P. Ryan. If they're up, they're going to be running the ball to P. Ryan. You're not getting that with Peterson. He's just if they're playing the Rams, so they're going to be down most likely by a shit ton.
The Rams have the 32nd ranked run defense versus fantasy running backs. That's last behind the 49ers.
That's what I was just about to say. They are last against the running backs.
I'm starting Adrian Peterson, sitting Samaje P.
Whoa, you just completely changed your answer there, didn't you?
Whoa.
What? No?
Oh, no, that was Ethan. Sorry, that was Ethan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck off,
Ethan said he
man.
was starting Jamal Williams. My bad.
So y'all are starting and dropping the same player. That's a big difference there.
I'm dropping
It is.
Peterson in my week, and I'm sitting Jamal.
Oh, man, that's a tough call.
Starting Peterson, sitting P. Ryan,
I
dropping.
don't think I can I can't start Adrian Peterson.
No.
Can't
Dude,
do
the
it.
volume is still there. Versus Jacksonville, 20 carries for 79 yards.
Yeah, but if they fall down 2 or 3
He hasn't had
touchdowns
he
quick.
hasn't had less than 11 touches.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
look-
what about Samaje P. Ryan and Jamal Williams touches?
Look what happened
They're
when he
getting
played the
just as
Rams like week 7. He had 11 touches for 21 yards.
How many?
21.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's where he.
That's
I'm surprised this word hasn't been mentioned already, but that's where the game script hurts him.
Oh.
Oh.
That wasn't Britt that said it. But
Hashtag game.
I'm just saying, he's going to exploit the 32nd ranked run defense.
well, you thought
know
he'd do
what?
that week 7.
This
I mean,
is the most-
the Giants ran for over 100 yards versus.
I'm
the,
struggling with P. Ryan or Jamal.
basically, you're the tiebreaker.
You know what?
Look, you got to
What?
go with the history. Take the veteran.
Give me P. Ryan.
There we go, Ryan. Come to the dark side.
You fool.
I'm
Write
dropping
this shit
Adrian
down.
Peterson.
Write this shit down. This is good.
Oh, we have it
Start
on
it
here.
down.
We have it recorded.
Jamal. Just because Jamal's,
No one
like you
watches
said
this
earlier,
shit.
his yard per carry scares me.
Just kidding, Matt.
I didn't even hear what you said. So
I said no one watches this shit.
Obviously, that one guy did.
damn.
I'm
Britt.
just joking. It was just a, we can't be too cocky. We got to make fun of ourselves.
Okay.
Coming from you,
You're-
that's
You're fat.
But we make fun of you all the time.
Dad?
All right, so we didn't come to a consensus at all, so I can't even really wrap that up. But
Well, we got
think
two
we all
people
have
starting P.
different
Ryan,
answers.
one starting Williams, one starting Peterson.
Peterson.
3 of us were
People
dropping
regret it.
Peterson. 1 is starting Peterson. So
Look, I
Britt
have to
could
be the
either be
outlier.
Britt could take a big
It's like
be-
daily
be
fantasy.
good on
Sometimes you got to go out there and,
That's true.
You
The,
gotta, you gotta make
I-
some bold moves sometimes, yeah.
we can throw another Whataburger on it. Me and Ryan are already owed one.
That's true.
wait, for what?
We said Phillip Rivers would have more points than Big Ben, and it was me and Matt versus you and Ethan.
Oh, my God. That was so close.
He
It
beat him by
was.
0.4.
Some bullshit.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'll throw my Jamal Williams
No,
out
hey.
there for a Whataburger.
That's a
Against
tie.
P-Ryan?
They tied at 31.
Oh, did they tie Britt? Because they
Yeah,
look
they
like
tied.
different numbers to me.
Nah, our league likes tie. We like ties.
They
It's
do,
like
but if
soccer.
it's the same one,
I
they're
love
winning the
them.
same one.
I got ties in my closet, ties in my fantasy league. It's just ties everywhere.
That's so bad.
Let's move on.
All right. How about start, sit, drop? Ethan, you okay back there?
You got him.
I just need a moment.
That was pretty good. I mean,
I got ties in my closet.
I tie my
Okay, just go,
shoes.
dude.
This
Just
is
go.
terrible. Do we need to take a break for our sponsors?
Who made you the judge, Matt? Okay, you're not the judge.
This week on our sponsors, we have Hurley hats. Do you want to feel like
Actually-
you're in 7th grade again? Wear our Hurley hat.
Yeah, says the hipster in the man bun. Shut your mouth.
Yo, I want to get
These wide
sponsored by
receivers.
Stubbs barbecue sauce. Have y'all had that stuff? That shit is so good.
Who?
Stubbs barbecue sauce. Go get some.
Don't you change the discussion, Matt.
Haven't
You
heard of
stole-
it, but
you stole Kamara away from me, man. I reported a robbery after week 3.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our start, sit, drop wide receivers. Jamison Crowder at the Cowboys coming off his best week. Dez Bryant at home versus the Redskins. Or Stephon Diggs at the Falcons.
How about you go first this time, Ryan? You know, you never get to go first at all.
I'll go first if you don't want to.
Okay, you go first.
I am starting Diggs, sitting Crowder, dropping Bryant.
Did you want to hop in here, Ryan? You want me to take it?
I'm deciding between my last two, so if you got your answer, go for it.
Oh, I got it. I am going to start. No, I'm not starting Dez. I'm actually going to drop Dez. Between these three, I'm dropping him. I don't want to because I still believe. But I'm starting Crowder. The reason being, since Chris Thompson's got hurt, and since Jordan Reed's been hurt, which is what that dates back to when he got drafted, right?
And their number 1 wide receiver, Terrell Pryor's out.
Well, yeah, he was out 2 weeks ago, and I think I believe I said that Crowder was gonna, that's true too. Crowder was gonna outscore Doxson last week, and he did because Jordan Reed wasn't playing. And if Jordan Reed doesn't play this week, then I'm starting him again. He gets those dump off passes that Chris Thompson and Reed would usually get, and I think Vernon Davis might be hurt, and they're just not disclosing this. There was
Fire after Crowder's, boys.
Yeah, get that Crowder going. And then
I am. Oh, you're not done.
I'm sitting Dez, and I'm dropping Dez, sitting Stephon Diggs, even though I think you could flip-flop those.
I'm starting Crowder. I'm sitting Dez. I still think Dez has a couple big games left in him, or for him this season since he hasn't had any. He's going to have that game where he gets 2 or 3 like jump ball touchdowns. I'm hoping it's not one of these next 2 weeks against me. Probably will be, though. And then I'm dropping Stephon Diggs. I think he's done. It's all Thielen and Rudolph.
I'm 100% agreement with Matt. 100%.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I'm on that train.
I love when people agree with me. I am worried about Diggs, though, because ever since Keenum took over as a starter, they don't
Wait. Britt, what's your reasoning for starting Diggs?
I don't know. I just think everybody's going to be focused on Thielen. Diggs going to have a big game. You have at least one 40-yard touchdown. I'm telling you, at the Dome in Atlanta. Oh, what was that look, Keller?
You said at least one 40-yard touchdown, like he has multiple 40-yard touchdowns coming.
All right.
At least.
I already told you they're losing that game, so.
We shall see.
Minnesota plays in the Dome, so I don't understand what the Dome has to do with anything.
It's just down south.
It's down south, Matt. You wouldn't understand. It's a secret.
All I'm saying is defense travels, okay?
Keenum looks
Minnesota's
for
winning that
Thielen.
game.
Like, that's his go-to option. It's like Keenum looks for Thielen like
Aaron
Savage
Rodgers
looks for
Jordy
Hopkins.
Nelson.
Exactly. That's just how it's been going. Keenum, his deep ball isn't that great. So that's what Diggs is going for. That's why I'm saying you can flip-flop him and Dez. Diggs being more boom or bust than Dez. Dez being more bust.
Just bust or bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dez is terrible.
He's still got the big game left in him, though.
I do believe in
Says
that.
Matt and Ryan.
I'm the one that said drop him, but I could see a few big games in him coming up.
Okay, so I just did 3 start, sit, drops. Any more y'all can think of, or any more fuck, marry, kills y'all want to go through?
What about some tight ends?
Fuck, marry, kill? Tight ends?
I definitely fuck Travis Kelce.
Ooh. That's why you took him so
on the team.
early.
Okay, I'm going to think one right here. Start, sit, drop. Kyle Rudolph, Jack Doyle, or Cameron Brate.
Rudolph.
Just
You got to
Rudolph.
start him.
Because
you
it's
gotta
Christmas
play
time?
Rudolph.
You drop break because
I
for
agree
some
with
reason
that.
they got other plans. They got OJ Simpson Part 2 down there or whatever. And then what was the other option? Yeah.
Doyle.
You gotta
Jackless Doyle.
Yeah.
He had
I think
9
it was-
catches last week.
I think I'm starting
Man.
Doyle for the consistency. Brissett
the
likes him.
consistency. When I played him, he put up -0.4.
That was like week 3.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
The Brisket's looking for him. He can't get the ball to Ty. I don't know why he can't.
Look,
I mean, I guess their line sucks. Yeah, I mean, he's still going to target Doyle. He's got to throw it to someone.
Yeah, the Jags defense.
Oh, he's going to do that a few times. At some point, he's going to connect with some wide receivers, and I think it's going to be Jack Doyle. But I also thought we were talking about the rest of the season. But either way, I like Doyle is like your consistent floor, and Rudolph is Rudolph's been pretty consistent with his yardage as well. But Rudolph more likely to get the touchdown. I just like Doyle a lot.
I didn't realize Evan Ingram was playing that bad the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
The Giants as a whole.
Yeah,
that game was
they got
nuts.
a QB change now.
Yep,
I'm starting Gronkowski. I'm starting Kelsey. I'm starting Ertz.
There's that comedic relief you were asking for, Ryan.
Yeah, Britt's the only one that laughed.
Yeah.
And my boy Jimmy Graham. Nah. I guess I'm starting Rudolph, dropping Brait, sitting Doyle.
Yeah, I should have came up with a better one than Brait because he hadn't really done much the last few weeks.
He got a big kick to the curb, and I don't know why, because he was actually a pretty solid target.
O.J. Howard, man, that first-round pick.
Yeah.
You could have brought up your boy. I don't know if we're bringing up later.
Out of all the needs the Bucs have,
Yeah, we'll bring him up later.
They already had a decent tight end. Why are you wasting a first-round pick?
I mean, O.J. Howard can be an absolute freak in this league, though.
Yeah, this is the same thing about Austin Seferian-Jenkins, too, who was drafted by?
Yeah, but didn't they release him because he, either
was an alcoholic
or beat his girlfriend or something?
Yeah, I mean, both? That's
Could have.
Sad, but doing pretty good with the Jets, but
yeah, he's thriving now. He had a touchdown.
Alcohol's the NFL's biggest sponsor.
Actually, he got his touchdown called back. If you remember that.
Well, he caught one.
He caught it. It just didn't count.
All right, so are we good with start, sit, drop, fuck, marry, kill?
Yeah. I think we're all right.
All right, let's go to the waiver wire.
Oh, is this where I'm supposed to do the drop?
Boom.
Waiver claims.
I still need to change that.
Waiver claims. You say that every week, you're going to change it, and it never changes.
Well, it was a tough day for me today, all right? I don't want to, vent.
Tough day.
Hey, man.
Let it out, man.
Work, bought a truck. Tough day.
Yeah.
I had to wait forever for my new truck.
They didn't even have Wi-Fi at the dealership. Can you believe that?
Oh, my God.
Oh, they have
Those
Wi-Fi at the
savages.
dealership.
The Jack in the Box line took too long.
Mocha latte.
How do people live like this?
First world problems, bro. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
All right, first two names on the waiver wire are some QBs. We've already talked about, both of them a little bit, but Case Keenum is only 37% owned. Josh McCown is only 32.6% owned. For the rest of the season, who are you taking?
Ooh.
There's been some QB struggles out there, so these two are kind of legitimate starting options now.
Yeah. The only thing you got to worry about with Case Keenum, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, is that one bad game. It's they're just sitting there waiting for that.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
True.
Which I think would be foolish at this point in the season. I would just write them out all the way, see how far you can go, and then reset for the next. That's just me, and I'm hoping that their coaching staff is smart enough because I really like watching that team. But I mean, if I knew he was going to play for the rest of the season, I'd go with Keenum.
I think I would too, but the Jets are not going to be afraid to sling it around. McCown's going to be throwing the ball.
Yeah, I think I'm going with McCown.
He has a little bit tougher schedule. I mean, he's got Kansas City and Denver, which aren't very good against the pass.
Kansas City a tough defense anymore?
No, I'm not saying them, but then he's got at New Orleans and then the Chargers. So
they didn't sign Revis Island in Kansas City.
Yeah,
incentive-laden contract.
Yeah, he'll get $13 million if they win the Super Bowl.
Good luck.
I think I agree with you. I'm going with McCown too. For the Jets to win, they're going to have to throw the ball. Minnesota can win just based on their defense. And they've actually been running the ball decent with Murray. And McCown does swing it.
Man.
3v1. All right.
7 carries, 20 yards, and a touchdown for Keenum.
Well, so you putting my running back now or what?
I'll put Big Ben there too if he gets 3 carries and 25 yards every week.
So, Britt, are you taking Keenum or McCown, Britt?
Rest of season, I'm probably going McCown.
All right.
So we're all going McCown?
No.
Or Ethan's going Keenum?
This week, I'm going Keenum.
As a Cougar alum, I appreciate that. Okay in chat says Case Keenums is better than Bridgewater.
Case Keenums or Keenum?
Case Keenums.
Hey, being a Cougar fan, y'all can have Kevin Sumlin back.
This ain't no A&M podcast. We don't want him back.
Okay, as far as like Keenum and Bridgewater goes, I can't say that Case Keenum is a better quarterback or more athletic. He's definitely not. I actually think Teddy Bridgewater is a fantastic quarterback when he was, or thought he was, becoming a fantastic quarterback. He was starting to show some real growth. But right now, the way the team is, I would just stick with Case Keenum. Just from a coaching perspective, you have to, because chemistry, communication, rapport, and just reps means so much at this point in a team-based game like football. You just got to stick with it.
Yeah, he's been like a glorified game manager type of quarterback. He's getting you a couple touchdowns a game, which is more than like a game manager would do. Maybe just like 1 touchdown, but he's not getting you the yardages. But he's doing what he needs to do to win. Like he's letting the defense win the game for him, pretty much.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, what was it? The 2001 Ravens. They basically told Trent Dilfer, "Don't fuck it up." Okay, we're gonna win the game, just don't fuck it up. So Case Keenum's doing that and then some. But like I said, I think they should just ride it out for this season. Case Keenum is not your franchise quarterback if you're the Vikings. Okay, Keenum goes off and goes and dies at the Browns or whatever, and Teddy Bridgewater comes up and does what Teddy's supposed to be doing. That's why I think they're going to reset it. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Okay in chat says he doesn't even do fantasy football, but he's a diehard Eagles fan. He just came in to talk some football.
Hey, I like the Eagles a lot.
Fly Eagles fly.
They
probably the best team in the NFC.
Nasty team, possibly the best team overall. Most well-balanced team in the NFL.
Until they beat the Patriots, though, you got to say the Patriots are the best.
Yeah. I think it's gonna come down to the Eagles and the Saints in the NFC.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna play against the Patriots.
Something still irks me about the Saints.
What is it?
I don't know. They haven't.
You can't believe
anybody good.
Yeah, I mean they almost beat the Rams.
Almost.
Rams are pretty good. Well, they also had like not half their defense, but they had 2 big guys out on defense. And for some reason, they refused to give the ball to Kamara more than I'm not even being biased here. They should have gave the ball to Kamara more that last game.
Yeah.
It seemed like they came out the game script. It was just negative from the start because the Rams got on the 7 points right off the bat. And for some reason, it looked like they were just panicking from the start, just throwing the ball. Like, okay, why are you doing? Are you doing that just to soften up the 30-second run defense? What's going on? So I just feel like that was just kind of a little bit of poor scripting for the first, for the start of the game, and set the tone for the rest of it. But yeah,
agreed. Before we move on,
all right, let's get. Sorry.
We have a question chat from OK. He asked, "Do you think Wentz is the next Brady? Not fantasy related, but." Just football related.
Do I think Wentz is the next Brady? So the next GOAT?
It's too early to tell, but he's definitely showing you all the signs.
I think
next Brady, no.
We all know the next GOAT is the one and only baby GOAT. Okay. Deshaun freaking Watson. Okay. But yeah. I will say this. Wentz is outstanding. I think he's going to be top 3 at least if he stays healthy. Quarterback probably for the next 10 years.
Would you rather have Carson Wentz or Russell Wilson?
Ooh.
For what, this season? Like,
I think right now,
like as a quarterback, not fantasy.
I think I'd rather have Carson Wentz.
oh man,
Yeah, I think Carson Wentz is just showing you a little bit of what he can do. Really,
I mean, can we agree that they're both probably the two best, still considered young quarterbacks since Luck has been hurt?
I mean, Deshaun Watson, you have to throw his name in there too.
I'm not throwing him in there yet.
Just from what he's done in 5 games.
I might take Wilson though, just because Seattle's team offense is terrible. Like,
hey, he's got homework, man.
Yeah. Okay. Go do your homework.
If you need any help, we got a teacher here.
Yeah, we also have a teacher here.
What's your homework, man? You doing math? I got you.
Don't be creepy, Keller.
No, but the Eagles have like a pretty good team. Like it's solid all around. The Seahawks, they're off. They can't run the ball. They got Doug Baldwin and Jimmy Graham and then Russell Wilson. That's their team, and half their defense is hurt right now. So it's a very good toss-up. I don't think you can go wrong with either one.
I'm on fire with the toss-ups tonight.
Yeah,
I think Russell Wilson's more valuable to the Seahawks, but
yeah. All right, we can move on now.
Okay. Let's go waiver wire running backs. First guy on the list, we've talked about him all night. He's still only owned in 65% of the leagues. So this is the week he goes up to that 80, 90% echelon. But that's Jamal Williams. So we don't really need to talk about him. But if Jamal Williams is still available, you need to go pick him up. He's kind of just like a couple weeks ago, we said you have to pick up Samaje Perine. You have to pick up Jamal Williams. Do it.
If anything, for a defensive move.
Yeah. Even if you already have 3 stud running backs and you can't start him, it's good just to kind of pick him up if you have room.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on that.
Okay, next guy on the list. He's owned in 43.7% of all leagues. Rex Burkhead. He had, I think, 2 touchdowns this week. He was kind of their goal line back, which was a little surprising.
Yeah. Obviously, Gillislee is not coming.
Gillislee's done.
Yeah, either that or they're just keeping his legs fresh, like Darren McFadden. But
didn't he retire?
Yeah, he got waived. See you, bro. Last McFadden RIP.
This one's tough because how many Patriots running backs have we had on the waiver wire so far this year? I'm pretty sure all 4 have been on the waiver wire.
Deion Lewis has been solid the last few weeks.
No, he has.
But like I said this before, they use them between the 20s. They don't. When they get to the red zone, it's like they change up their game plan.
I really thought Lewis was going to get some of those goal line carries, and they just gave it to Burkhead every time down there.
Yeah, so they kind of got defined roles now. You kind of see what's going on, and I think, like I said, Deion Lewis is far and away the most talented back they have. I think, but yeah, maybe they're trying to keep him kind of fresh for the playoffs. I don't know. You can't really trust. This just goes to show you can't really trust New England.
No,
New England back.
He's the LeGarrette Blount from last year.
Yeah,
he's the Mike Gillislee from week 1. He's just in there for the goal line carries, pretty much.
I mean, but he does have some value in PPR though too.
Yeah, I mean, just because he's on the number 1 offense, like they're gonna move the ball. He's gonna get opportunities.
He does have Burkhead does have some nice hands, so they can throw them. He's more versatile, right? I can see where you can pick him up.
Just don't come bitching when he doesn't get any touchdowns and scores about 3 points.
You just gotta know what you're signing up for. That's all. Just
exactly.
Yep.
Okay, next 2 guys. The Tampa Bay Bucs running backs. Would you rather have Peyton Barber or the reemergence of Jacquizz Rodgers?
Neither.
Any of them worth a pickup?
Dougie!
Do we know how long Dougie's out for?
I think Dougie's dead, dude.
Do we know how long Dougie's out for or no?
He's in concussion protocol, man. He was actually coming along. I was like, yes, my Dougie prayer has been answered. He's going to start lighting it up. Here we go, baby. Woo! And then next thing you know,
gods.
Fantasy God, Dougie, Gordon giveth, Gordon taketh away.
It's just been such a disappointment.
There had to be a sacrifice for Josh Gordon to come back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all these blood sacrifices have been made for the resurrection of the one and the only Josh Gordon.
If I had to pick, if Doug Martin wasn't playing this week, which I do have to pick, and I will. If Doug Martin's not playing this week, I probably lean Jaquiz because he did decent.
Jaquiz.
Yeah, you pick up the jizz, man. Get the jizz in the face.
Yeah, you're picking up Jaquiz Rogers.
Well, I will say this: watching the Buccaneers a little bit closer maybe than some of you guys have. For whatever reason, their coach has a hard-on for this Peyton Barber kid. I don't know what his deal is, but he has a major hard-on for him. So,
well, that's what I thought too when they said 3 weeks back they were going to.
He got two touchdowns this past weekend.
Yeah, like 5 carries, 7 yards.
Yeah, but it could have been a game script thing. But I could see a thing where they get him a little bit more involved in practice, right?
Well, they said they were going to give him more carries like 3 weeks ago, and they never did. Like, yeah, we're going to give more carries to Barber and kind of limit Doug Martin, and they just kind of fed Doug Martin.
I'll tell you why. 3 weeks ago, Peyton Barber had 2 carries for -2 yards.
Pick him up.
But that's
Pick up Jaquiz.
I'm just saying I don't trust either one.
Only if Doug doesn't play.
I don't trust Doug
either. This much time to be talked about, so I'm going to move to the next guy.
Yeah, please,
there we go.
All right, Rod Smith, 20.5% owned. What do we think? He's slowly getting a little bit more each week.
Yeah, I need to see some improvement from this Dallas Cowboy offense. That was pitiful last week.
It's just going to be a shit show until Zeke comes back.
They just, I don't know. I feel like they have a terrible wide receiving core.
They really do.
I think teams know how to play Dallas now, and it's just stack the box and make Dak beat you, and he can't beat you. So
yeah, and Dez Bryant, he's not the same Dez Bryant we've seen in the past few years. He can't win a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have nowhere else to turn.
But he never could win a one-on-one.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
Tony
like
Romo
Hopkins.
was just putting on the money.
Hopkins can't create separation, but he still gets a shit ton of catches.
It's because he's fast as hell.
He pushes off on every pass.
Yeah.
He knows how to use his hand. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he does it proper, but you know.
Daddy says the boys blow dick. Well, as Texans fans, I can't disagree there.
Is that Derrick?
I don't know. It could be.
Was it Dad D?
Dad?
Yep.
That's you, Dad?
All right, Derrick Henry is owned in 60.6% of leagues. He had a pretty good week, or he got a lot of carries last week. I don't know if it was good, but
I think we're all just waiting for the Tennessee to just finally let Derrick Henry take over. Yeah. They just won't do it. Even I think Derrick Henry got him all the way down to the 4-yard line, and then they brought DeMarco Murray in, got him the touchdown. DeMarco Murray, 12 carries, 9 yards.
What was Henry?
13 carries, 89 total yards.
13 carries, 80 yards.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
This has been the thing this entire year. You have one guy do good one week. Like DeMarco Murray went off last week, and now this is Derrick Henry's week, and they just keep alternating. It seems like, and you just don't know who to start.
Good, though. That's the thing.
Terrible for fantasy.
Awful
it is
for fantasy.
That's why. I mean, you're gonna pick up Henry, but you just when you start him and get disappointed, don't come bitching.
All right, Jonathan Stewart, 61.4% owned. He worth picking up?
I think he's only relevant if he scores a touchdown.
Who it is we talk? I'm sorry, who talking about?
Jonathan Stewart. 15 carries, 26 yards, terrible yards per carry.
Jonathan,
I think
he's still around?
He's the better running back than McCaffrey.
McCaffrey had 7 carries for 62 yards.
He just
look at last week though.
Eddie George at the end of his career, if y'all remember.
Well, yeah, but even the week before, McCaffrey still had 5 carries for 23. Like, I mean, he's not like McCaffrey can't handle that workload I get, but Stewart is not good anymore.
He really is.
Oh, I'm not saying he's good, but he's
like Frank Gore, dude.
No, he's like Frank Gore, like stepbrother.
Yeah.
The poor man's Frank Gore.
What do you even mean?
That's what I was getting at.
He's gonna be getting the goal line carries for sure, and they're lining up McCaffrey more in the wide receiver, like the slot and stuff. Like, I think he had like 20% lined up as a wide receiver. So he's getting 15. Like he's gotten at least 10 carries the past 5 games, and he got 15 carries this week.
Volume, buddy.
So
Buck Allen, 48.2% owned.
Nope.
That's pretty much all Collins and Woodhead now.
Yeah, if your name isn't Alex Collins, really, I'm too scared to even touch Woodhead. But definitely no Buck Allen. No.
All right, what about this guy? Damian Williams looked good last week, but he is hurt now. So how about Kenyon Drake, still only 59.5% owned? It's going to pretty much be his backfield this week.
I think
he's worth a pickup for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I can see you in a pinch, blowing a high waiver spot for this, or spending some whatever's left of your free agent bucks.
I mean, depending on your situation, he might be a flex plug-in this week.
Yeah. Even though the matchup I don't think is incredibly favorable, but still he should get a large load.
I think even their third string running back went down as well. I can't remember with what, but he's going to be getting the majority of the bulk of the carries. And you saw like the first 2 weeks, whenever after they traded JJ, he actually played pretty well. And for some reason, they just kept running with Williams out there. So now you might actually see what he can do. He has that big play potential, which
is explosive, yeah.
Which can always, if he gets 2 of those, that's 20 points right there.
He has the capability of taking more to the house at any point.
All right, last guy out for the running backs. Eddie Lacy, 17.2% owned.
Don't do it.
He had like a shit ton of carries, didn't he?
That's a straight noob trap, okay? Like, just no. Just say no.
He had 17 carries.
17 carries. How many yards?
I have
21.
Total yards, 61
46 rushing yards versus the San Francisco run defense.
He got the carries, though. J.D. McKissick only had like 4.
If he's not doing it versus San Francisco, he's not going to do it versus anybody. So, I'm sitting him.
Just say no to Seattle's backfield.
Yeah.
It's
like the Patriots' backfield, but worse.
Yeah, except
a lot worse.
They can't run the ball. Their leading rushers are freaking quarterback. A quarterback, eh?
But
the running back points for Seattle go McKissick, Carson, Lacy, and Rolls.
They play Jacksonville this week, which they are susceptible. What's the word? Susceptible. Yeah, there you go. This is a math teacher for you. To the run. So if you're going to beat them, I think that's the way to do it. But the Seahawks just can't run the ball. So it might be a struggle this week.
All right, let's go to wide receivers. Jermaine Kearse, 35.5% owned for that high-powered Jets offense.
Yeah, he is a solid second look for McCown, it seems like a lot. So he did get some targets. He's going to fall off, man. Like, I can't really trust him.
More attention is going to be going to Anderson now, so maybe that opens things up a little bit for Kearse.
Maybe, I don't know, 331 guy.
Yeah, I'm not wasting a waiver claim on him.
No, you can definitely probably grab in free agency if you actually wanted him. You saw this happen at the beginning of the year, too. He went off for a couple games, and then Anderson started playing better, and you didn't see much from him.
All right, what about with the injury to Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, 60.2% owned. He had, like 8 catches for 100-something yards?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper!
I mean, Watkins had a touchdown, too.
I think that he could be a somewhat safe play if you need some kind of consistency, just because Goff has always had a rapport with him, even since preseason. So I would feel not too bad about playing him in a pinch.
Do we know when Woods is coming back, though?
I think it says it's supposed to miss 1 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be this
My thing
week.
like freaked out right there.
I think it's going to be the week after. So.
Yeah, they play Arizona this week. So I think
we're about to lose Keller.
Hey, Keller.
Keller might be gone.
You don't hear me?
Yeah.
You heard us.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either.
Okay, well, my thing like disconnected for like 5 seconds and everything went black. So I don't know what was going on.
Yo,
You
time to
download the
upgrade
porn
DSL.
after the podcast.
Yeah,
Damn it.
after.
Back to Cooper
Are we
Kupp,
still
though.
talking about? Are y'all done with Cooper Kupp or what?
Sure.
You rather have him over Sammy, right?
Yeah, especially for this week.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Your
about
boy
Randall?
Josh Reynolds.
I'm not there yet. Randall Cobb, 57.4% owned, had a touchdown. Brett
No.
Hundley looked serviceable.
No, Devontae Adams is the only Green Bay wide receiver I'm playing.
So Jordy is just like falling off the face of the earth, dude. Makes me sad.
Yeah. I like Devontae. It seems like he's throwing to him more. And Cobb's just a touchdown dependent guy from now on.
All right,
He's
so
only
we'll
had
go
two
to
this year, so
my boy Josh Reynolds, 0.3% owned. Rams got him involved right away in the offense with Woods going down. He caught a touchdown. I think he had 4 catches. And they threw him a deep ball, which he didn't haul in. But the opportunity is there for Josh Reynolds and a high-powered offense.
I thought you were joking about him being on here, but
No, he had a good week.
no, I'm not picking him up just yet, but he does show that promise, and he is my
Get out of here with that, Matt.
that's what I think about him.
Whew.
No, but we got some A&M people on the podcast, so what do y'all think about him? Y'all think he has
I
potential?
just said what I think about him. He's got
Yeah.
a good opportunity on a high-powered offense.
Look at this, man.
What do you think about if Woods comes back, though?
Well, then
Oh,
he's
Woods
not.
comes back. Yeah, he's going right back to the bench. I'm not touching him, and he's my boy.
All right, what about your real boy, Martavis Bryant, 41.5% owned, back in the saddle.
Yep, pick him up. Juju ain't shit.
Dude, what?
We need an honest opinion here, Britt. Do you really think he's going to do anything when Juju comes back?
Yes. They're going to need that burner.
But we've been saying that all year, and they haven't been needing that burner.
They're going to need that burner.
For what?
Watch. Probably playoff time, but
Fresh legs.
That
I don't know. I still
So
think there's some potential for him there, too.
yeah, dude, Bryant is just too much of a beast to be contained.
But they have so many
But
options.
he's been contained all year.
I just feel like,
They haven't really been throwing to him.
Your,
I just feel like-
your argument right now isn't working.
and I'm really big on Martavius, dude. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm just
All right?
saying, the dude's a freak. He's
He
6'4",
is a freak.
215. Like, Juju hasn't got anything on him.
Juju has been making the most of his opportunities.
The
Exact-
stats.
No, he's getting targeted a little more, but what? Big Ben, if he could just fucking throw the deep ball a little better these next few games.
You're blaming this on Big Ben?
Big
Seems
Ben's
like
been up and
Antonio
down.
Brown's been doing pretty well.
Well, yeah. But Antonio Brown's matchup proof, and Big Ben has to go to him.
Just
All
because
right,
you're
last guy on the
big.
list.
I ain't done with this yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were done.
Oh, are you still defending Juju?
I'm not
The guy
defending
who's had
Juju.
two
I
good
just
games?
you're telling people to pick up Martavius. I don't believe in it.
I'm just saying I would stash him.
I mean, he might be worth a pickup.
And
Yeah.
free if you can get him on free agency. If you have a high waiver, I'm not spending a lot of my budget on him. If
At
you
this
want
point,
another,
probably don't have much of a budget left.
if you want a poor man's T.Y. Hilton, which is a very poor man, then yeah, go ahead and pick him up. I mean, yeah,
T.Y. Hilton.
I'd much
A poor
rather
man, Will
have.
Fuller.
Daddy says no point in arguing with Britt.
Nope.
That
That's
must
true.
be Derek.
Is that really Derek?
It could be. He says in chat. I agree there.
It
So
has to
let's
be.
let's move on. I've already beat Britt in one argument, actually 2. So we'll just move on.
Hey, ask Daddy what he thinks about flat Earth. Or actually, I'll ask him. Daddy, got any thoughts on flat Earth?
Oh,
This
ghost
is two
dick.
flat
It's
earthers.
Derek. It's Derek. It's him. He said the magic words.
Where are y'all seeing this?
In YouTube chat.
Oh shit! I gotta get in there. I gotta get on that boat, man.
All right,
Gotta get on that boat.
come on, let's go.
Oh man.
All right, last wide
we have to
receiver.
Wrap this shit up. I gotta
We're
go
almost
to
done.
bed.
Shut the fuck up. The Raiders will be without Crabtree, so you got Cordarrelle Patterson. Oh, they'll be without Cooper too, because he just about died. but Cordell Patterson and Seth Roberts. So I personally would prefer Patterson over Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You said yeah.
Yeah.
Britt, yeah?
31 guy. Not too high.
Wait, what was the question?
Patterson or Roberts?
Neither.
Yeah, I also agree. If I had to go, I'd probably go Roberts. I mean, Patterson has
Gun
been
to my
known
head, I'm going Roberts.
Why? Patterson was the guy after Crabtree went out.
He's been known to disappoint in the past.
Never.
Yeah. You don't remember that one year? He was all hyped up to be like the top wide receiver in Minnesota. It was just
He was a top wide receiver for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. I wrote down a few tight ends. So Hunter Henry on the Chargers, he's still only 62% owned, and Chargers are been pretty decent the last few weeks. So is Hunter Henry worth the guy you're going to start the rest of the season? Because Gates, I think, is done.
He's as good as any as far as the tight end lotto ticket goes. So
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to use him a little more than Gates now. So start, I guess, yeah, because tight ends have been so random. But you're still not confident unless you have the top three, like we've been saying this entire year.
Hey, the top four, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham's actually been pretty solid lately, so I agree with you there. That's one thing we can agree on.
Blow it out your ass, Matt.
I'm agreeing with you. Now you're telling me to blow it out my ass?
I'm just playing devil's advocate, man.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't make
All right,
sense.
Charles Clay, slowly getting reintegrated back into the offense, 47.8% owned. He was a big part of the offense before he went down with that injury. So are we picking Clay back up?
there are worse options.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'd pick him up. I prefer him over Henry. Well, it's tough now.
I think I prefer Henry over Clay.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I like Clay too, just because.
What about Henry Clay?
What about him?
Swing and a miss.
Nobody knows who Henry Clay is?
No clue.
From your history books?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Next tight end.
Anyways, O.J. Howard, 11.8% owned, kind of taking over for Cameron Brate down there. Do we like O.J. Howard?
I do.
Okay.
But not on Tampa Bay's offense.
You don't believe in Fitzmagic?
Dude, Tampa Bay's just getting the Hard Knocks curse.
Next season will be the season.
They just suck.
I mean, they really weren't that much better with Jameis, though. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
John Gruden's coming back.
Yeah. John Gruden was supposed to be going to Tennessee.
All right, last guy.
This is the reason you added tight ends on here, because of this last guy.
We're taking a flyer on the hottest tight end in the league.
My boy.
Ricky Seals-Jones, 1.6% owned, 2 touchdowns last week, 1 touchdown this week. Who's quarterback in the Cardinals? Blaine Gabbert loves him.
Who cares?
I mean, he's got the potential to be very good in this league because he is a fast tight end. He was a receiver converted to a tight end. And, I mean, he's a big guy. Do we like him? What do we think? Ricky Seals-Jones. Last week we were kind of joking around.
I think he could be a deep sleeper next year. You could take a flyer on him this year.
2 touchdowns to 1 touchdown. This week, 0 touchdowns. No.
I'm calling no good touchdown.
You have to pick him up. The only reason you're picking him up this year is because how bad tight ends have been. Like, you can't do worse than him. Well, you can do worse than him.
You can do a lot worse than him.
I mean, it's just a crapshoot.
I don't know.
I actually really, on a serious note, I don't think that you could really do. You could do a lot worse than him. But then again, between him and Hunter Henry, I think that's kind of a toss-up to me right there.
I go Henry because the better offense.
Hey, rest of season, Jason Witten or Ricky Seals-Jones?
Ricky Seals-Jones.
I also agree there. Towards the end of the season, I'd like to pick the more, not consistent player, but the more hot player, the guy that's playing the best.
Okay, well then would you take him
over... I also like to pick up the better players, yes.
Hey, yeah.
No, I was saying towards the end of the...
I like to pick up the guys that are scoring the points.
Hey, Ricky Seals-Jones or Evan Ingram? Evan Ingram's had 0.9 and 1.8 this past 2 weeks.
So Geno Smith or Blaine Gabbert.
And I'm a big Evan Ingram guy too. Like I thought.
Are you, Britt? Are you a big Evan Ingram guy?
I was. I picked him
Now
up.
that they sat Eli, I might go
Look,
Seals Jones.
if I pick him up at any time of the season off of waivers, he's my boy. Like Alvin Kamara was my boy before Matt because I believed in him.
He's
more.
You dropped him.
He's Matt's
No,
boy.
I'm just saying I
He's my
believe
boy.
in him
Left you,
more.
okay?
If you drop
No.
somebody, you rescind their boy rights.
It's over.
No, I still
I
had
agree.
it. It's just I had to make space on my bench, man.
Just let him go.
You don't drop your boy.
Move on.
I had another boy.
Just move on.
Now,
So that
Martavis,
wasn't
you
your
keep
boy.
Martavis as your boy.
He's already
No.
dropped Latavius.
I know, but I'm saying he can keep him.
Just
telling
move
you.
on.
Josh Reynolds is my boy, man. I've got too
God.
too much money invested in him.
MFG breaks.
Yeah.
FG praise. You got any Ricky Seals Jones cards?
Nah, man, I got this dude though. That dude's a stud.
Bosa donuts.
Britt, no one gives a shit about your football cards.
Oh yeah, ever heard of that guy?
It's a terrible signature.
Yeah, dude. Some of these guys are illiterate.
That's racist.
That's
not.
racist. You saying that's racist?
Yeah, you saying that's racist is racist. Although, check out J.J. Watt's penmanship. That's actually pretty good.
See, you just went racist there.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
check out the white guy's signature. Look how
I
good it
agree
is.
with Ryan. All right.
No,
Let's get out of this
look,
racist
come on.
topic.
No. Hey, David Johnson's got a clean signature.
For those that are listening and not watching, he's just showing his cards right
Hey,
now.
maybe we'll no. I was talking about doing a giveaway to our followers.
Oh, give away
I
a
can get an
football
autograph
card.
card. Yeah, give it away.
Oh,
I'll mail it to
Okay.
him.
I think
Will
you got
you
a
really?
solid Ricardo Lewis, right? Give that away.
Oh, I got a Keenan Reynolds auto. I got Ricardo Lewis coming your way.
Because I was talking about doing a giveaway on
Yeah.
Instagram if you're following us. So if
You
Britt's
could have like
actually
a
going to.
shit ton of like the same ones, right? So you could give a good one away.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what I come up with next week.
We got to set some kind of ultimatum though, like
Just
got to get a
fo-
certain amount of followers, or
Yeah, we will. I already have it down, but just follow us on Instagram.
like
if
follow
you
us on
want.
Instagram or we'll kill you. That's the ultimatum.
Yeah. Follow us on Instagram. We'll post the giveaway on Instagram and Twitter. Just follow us on there at Fantasy and Chill.
Leave us a review on iTunes.
Yes, don't
Do
forget
that
to
as
subscribe to iTunes, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. We don't have Facebook. Follow us there anyways, though.
Daddy has
MySpace.
one more
10:30.
thing
Daddy's
to
got to
say.
go to bed.
Or we'll find
Daddy
you.
says, love the chat, guys. Best I've ever seen. My favorite is that cute guy, Ethan. What a hottie.
Oh.
Derek, you bitch.
All right. On that note, any closing thoughts, Ethan? Any poems this week, or saving that for next
No, not
week?
this week. I wasn't very inspired. So,
Oh, yeah, after that
maybe next
Texans
week.
loss, it's kind of hard to
Yeah.
get inspired.
Britt,
yeah.
great fantasy season, bub. Maybe next
Hey.
year. Man.
Maybe next
I
year.
turned. I thought I had no chance, and I was actually only a few points away from making the playoffs, so I'll take it.
You thought you had no chance, and you were right.
That is
No
true.
chance.
Devontae Freeman, Dak Prescott.
Fantasy's a funny thing, man. I'm in 6 different leagues. I've made the playoffs in every single league except for one, and it was an 8-4 team. So how did I not get into the playoffs like that? But I got 275 teams that made it. So, fantasy is fantasy. This is why we play. We play, partly because we're masochists in the end, but a lot of times because it's exciting. You don't know what's going to happen, and it's just fun. I mean, come on. It's a break away from reality.
It's
right?
the best of times, and it was the worst of times.
Because when you make it to the top, baby, nothing feels sweeter, really.
And when you're last place and you got to wear that dress out to the bar.
Yep.
We'll get those glamour shots.
All right. So on that note, we are going to close it out. Good luck, everybody, with your playoff matchups coming up. Remember to ask us questions on Twitter and Instagram all week, especially leading up to Sunday. And hope to see you next week. We out.
Rack 'em.
No! We suck again!
Jello Beats, holla at me.
You stupid. You stupid. What's 9 plus 10? You stupid. You stupid. What's 9 plus 10? You stupid. You stupid. stupid. You stupid. You stupid.